You're looking at live coverage of Haddonfield on a rainy night here. And Tad, we're getting ready to go here, and we are obviously the rain coming down a little bit harder than what it was about a half hour ago, but we are set up here at Haddonfield, and the rain and the lights makes it look a lot worse than it really is, but then again, we're underneath the tent, so we've got that going for us.
With all that said, though, you're playing on artificial surface, and I mean, this is a surface you can play through it, and again, it's going to be a little trouble, I think, to throw the ball. We're hoping for no lightning to slow the game down, but again, this is something it's part of football. You're going to have to play through this.
No question about it. You know, you're talking to the coaches, and they just basically say you have to put this out of your mind. And the good thing about, you know, even if it is slick, a little bit wet, it really doesn't affect your footing. I was talking to Coach Claiborne about, one of these guys about what it was like at Gateway. This was about 6 or 7 years ago. It was an absolute downpour
it was a nor'easter
in the first half, and it wasn't affecting the footing. And then once it stopped, the field just not totally dried, but it was amazing how well a surface like this can handle the rain.
Rob, it was raining so hard, it was hard to see the other sideline. We were standing on the field. You could hardly see the other sideline, and nobody was slipping. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of having a turf field. And real quick, on the side here a little bit, just want to give a quick shout-out to Gateway for winning their division for the first time in a really, really, really long time. And we've seen that program at its worst, and now it's at its best. And just a big shout out to Gateway and their staff and everybody over there.
Yeah, just a feel-good story. I know, up to about, 7 or 8 years ago, they didn't know week to week if they were going to have enough players. I think they only had maybe 15 on the roster. You get a few injuries, and you're at the risk of not playing a game. But they've gotten a new coach. They've turned things around. They've re-energized the program. They have a lot of kids in the school that wouldn't have normally come out, namely some of the wrestlers that are now on board. And boy, you know, there's nothing that shows how much you've turned things around than a win against Paulsboro, one of the elite teams.
I can even transfer that to Haddonfield. I mean, there was times in the early 2000s where Haddonfield was a guaranteed win. We would come there and beat. In fact, we had beaten them 3 or 4 times in a row, but now they've won 7 times in a row. And again, they've built their program up, and Coach Frank Delano's really helped put them on the map. And playoff-wise is another story here, Rob. Playoffs between wins. Kevin, do you happen to, I guess I'm putting you on the spot. Do you happen to know the last win that Sterling has had in football in a playoff game? And I'll tell you, it's been a while.
I mean, you'd have to go back to 2006.
We did not win. That was
Ellis.
And we lost to Camden in an upset. Our last playoff win was 2002, and a win against.
Right. I knew that because you had asked me that.
So
you told me that a little bit earlier.
But you would think you only have to go as far back as last year. That was a game that we thought Sterling had a chance to win.
Well, especially with what had transpired the week before, where we pretty much dominated Haddonfield, which was the last game this Haddonfield team lost, undefeated this year.
Yep.
After that, lost to Sterling.
And you look at the last meeting between Sterling and West Deptford, very similar conditions to this, where we had some rain delays due to lightning, and then wound up being an uproad battle rather for Sterling if they want to look to pull the upset here.
Oh, no question about it. You know, this is a Haddonfield team that I think good, but I think if you look for them this year, it was going and beating. I mean, that tells you how good this team really is. You're talking about.
And they're just a very solid team. You can put them in, obviously, in the likes of Paulsboro and West Deptford. They're a team. They're not going to beat themselves. You have to go out there and beat them. And tonight,
all their games on a turf field just right across there at Cherry Hill West game last year, and then hosted in the first round of the playoffs, and it's half season.
Yeah, and it's something none of us expected.
No.
I remember after that game, we're just sitting there looking at each other with a look of what just happened, and just nobody really had an answer. And sometimes that happens. You know, you go against a very good team, couple their way, and it's then you expect it, and then you saw the prior week.
Well, when you talk to some of the players who played in that game, namely the quarterback, C.J. Barrett, wide receivers, the key players, they said the Cherry Hill West was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Deal conditions, they threw it all over the field. And it was really, really cold.
Right.
C.J. he threw half the game. It just was one of those, it was that got Sterling, and then Haddonfield goes on and wins championships. That tells you how close last year's Sterling team was.
West Deptford also Colonial Conference well represented. Outside looking in, we mentioned this during the boys soccer broadcast. Del Rand 7. That's a big bit of contention to talk to those guys up at Del Rand. They're not happy about it, but that's just they're a product of the new system with the Born Index and this whole power like that. So it's unfortunate for Del Rand, but the system is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, and that maybe not to that extent, but things like that have been happening for a while. I know we got in the playoffs a couple of years ago against Delsey, and we had 2 or 3 wins. There was Overbrook, who had 2 wins this year.
Yeah,
they got in the playoffs. So unfortunately, it happens. I don't know if there's an answer to it. You know, we were throwing around play-in games, but much tougher to do in football than any of the other sports because you need time in between games, and I think it would back up the whole schedule for what they're ultimately trying to get, and that's a state championship.
And that's what they're looking for. It's great to win South Group 2, but I think the state wants to have a more defined champion after that Group 2. And, of course, they moved the schedule back to start in that last weekend of August leading into Labor Day weekend. That was interesting. Sterling opened up the season with a road victory against Triton, who wound up winning their division at 5-3.
Yeah, that was – you told me that the other day. I kind of
We
lost
forgot
track
about them,
of
yeah.
Triton. But in hindsight, looking back at that, that was probably one of the things that catapulted us ahead when you talk about getting points from teams that you beat. Giving you residual points was one of the things that put us over the top and got us to where we are right now.
Well, if you look at Sterling's schedule, obviously you're playing Haddonfield was on your schedule. They're the #1 seed. You played West Deptford. They're one of the high-ranked teams. You have Paulsboro. It's been very difficult schedule.
Sterling getting hyped up here to our left, and the rain still coming down, and it's going to be all night. I mean, this rain is not going to let up until tomorrow morning, and there was some question, at least in my mind, whether or not they were going to play this game tonight or they were going to play it tomorrow morning in some drier conditions. But on turf, you really don't have much of there's no excuse not to play this game unless there's lightning.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's the only thing that would have backed it up because, logistically, if you hear thunder, you've got to get everybody off, everybody in the locker room. Then you've got to wait a half an hour before, when you go thunder free, and then you've got to work to get everybody out, get everybody warmed up. So it could hook you up.
That's still in play tonight. I mean, there's showers and thunderstorms around. So far, knock on wood, we're good, but that is definitely in play for tonight.
Sterling with the away whites and the blue pants. Haddonfield with the all-black kit tonight with the red fading into the gray numbers. We are dry for the moment. You guys got here around 4 o'clock, set up the tent, and they've kind of camped out here ever since. I'm going to do my best to hang in there with you guys as long as my kiddos will allow me. They're being good.
I think Chris Janney is taking care of music.
But already you noticed Friday night there'd be a ton of people.
Crowd.
So we'll pause right now for the national anthem.
Oh, I see it.
Haddonfield band, a fantastic edition of the national anthem. The South Haddonfield, Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, Tad Kozaneski to join us later in the broadcast. Number 8 seed, Haddonfield, the top seed, the reigning champion here in South Group 2. And a really formidable opponent, and Sterling really has their work cut out for them tonight, Kevin, if they want to pull the upset here.
Well, no question. And you have to feel like this is a strong team that's going to have to take some chances, maybe some slants on the defensive end, shoot the gaps. You're taking some risks, but at the same time, on that first matchup.
Take a look at Sterling here, just about to break, getting some instruction from the coaching staff. Sterling really tonight the top seed.
And that's how you have to play it. I think, if you're a player, hey, nothing to lose. Come out here, play hard, free and loose. That's recipe sometimes for an upset when teams just roll with that.
You're playing a rival. You played them twice last year. By the way, Rob, Haddonfield won the toss. They deferred. So
Shane L.
Last time these two teams played.
Second for Willsie's going to hand it off to Nick Harmer. Harmer is third and very short, maybe about 1.5 yards for Nick Harmer. Had some troubles in the last couple hanging on to the ball. He's really going to have to hang on to it here tonight.
Well, and that's what you wanted, to get yourself in a third and situation here, and Sterling was able to do that.
He's going to get the carry off to the side, and I think on before the officials do, but they're going to move the chains.
And that's a great start because, that's
First and 10, Robertson in motion from near side to far side. Willsie's going to come out in the flat, well over the intended receiver, Demir
Robertson there, but I don't know, would have gotten a lot. You saw a lot of defenders getting over there, and that's one thing Haddonfield does very well. They swarm to the ball.
Slipped out of his hand, Rob.
Was going to be a big part of it. And this actually favors Sterling, I think, here a little bit because of the pat offense of Haddonfield.
Yeah, Haddonfield offensively have thrown for over 1,000 this season.
2nd down and 10 for Sterling from the 30. They're going to put 2 backs in motion, and that's going to draw a penalty flag. Can't do that as Harmer gets buried in the backfield, and that's going to cost Sterling 5 yards.
And it goes without saying, Kevin, these are the things you just can't do.
You guys mentioned this when we were on our way up to the boys' soccer game on Thursday about how you talk about these teams like West Epford and Haddonfield that have been good over the last half decade or so or more. They don't make mistakes like that.
No.
And, you know, everybody's going to make mistakes throughout the course of a game, but they don't let penalties beat them. They're going to decline the penalty, bring up 3rd and 13.
And if somehow they get behind in the game, they don't allow that to affect how they play from that point on. They're calm, they're cool. And, you know, that's part of what you have when you have a program that's won for as long as they've won.
Sterling's on their way there for sure. But they got to get through 2 or 3 really good teams here. And Wilsey in trouble, puts it up in the air, looking for Harmer, picked off by Haddonfield. That's Chris Brown on the interception at midfield. Wilsey put it up in the air, and Harmer couldn't come up with it, but Chris Brown does.
Yeah, that was an outstanding catch by Brown, diving, holding on to it, and Haddonfield comes up with the first turnover of the game and puts himself in great field position at midfield.
That's a jump ball there, Rob. You're going to see a lot of Brown. He's also their leading running back in this offense for Haddonfield, so we're going to see a lot of 22.
Brown ran for 2 touchdowns and over 140 yards in the meeting against Sterling. Now the Haddonfield offense, as the handoff goes, Lance 4-ball on the carry, and he gets maybe a yard.
Well, obviously the addressed was what was going to happen, what we needed to happen on the offensive side of the ball, getting that first series of downs, getting the first down from a confidence standpoint was big. Now it's interesting to see how Sterling's going to react defensively.
Man in motion is Davis Smith. Splits out to the far side, 3 receivers on that far side. They're going to go to him, and he's going to pick up about 3 more yards, going to bring up a 3rd down and 6.
Give credit to Sterling, though. Good swarming defense going to the outside, and we know from last year what Davis Smith brings to the table. A real big body, outstanding receiver, can go up and get the ball, and obviously is a kid who's very good at the run after the catch.
Jameer Beasley on the tackle. And now they're going to put trips to the near side. Foley from the shotgun. One back to his left. Foley drops back to pass, looking. Going to keep himself plenty of room in front of him. Foley's got the first and a pickup of about 22 yards.
Intangibles that Foley brings to the table, reading field, and is able to get a big first down for Haddonfield.
It's a shame the coverage looked pretty good, and he just got through the line.
1st and 10 from the Sterling 30 after the Wilsey interception at midfield. Able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Great job by the Sterling defense.
Well, if there's one thing that's encouraging is that dive that was working so well. One of the things that was working so well for Haddonfield in that first game so far, Sterling's been able to stop that. It's just a matter of nullifying their playmakers. And that's something.
Here Robertson on the tackle. Foley from the shotgun to receive. He has yet another of about 10, and Haddonfield is in the red zone.
The chance for Matchett had a chance to make a tackle from the 2nd level, wasn't able to do it. As Brown, it shows how tough he is.
Still no score here from Haddonfield. Just about 7.5 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. First round of the South Jersey Group 2 playoffs. Sterling, the 8th seed, looking to pull the upset. 1st and 10 from just about the 20. Foley under center now. Going to hand it off to Davis Smith. Tries to get around the edge. Eludes a couple tackles for a loss. It's going to be a loss of about 5 on the play. Sterling defensively blowing up the run, but just can't contain the pass.
And Davis Smith, Kevin, he was the difference in that playoff game last year.
Yeah, a good job of getting to the outside. You're not going to stop Davis Smith one-on-one. You're going to stop him the way you did on that play, getting a lot of bodies out there to the outside, swarm to the edge, and they contained him.
2nd down and 13. Foley from the shotgun. Plenty of time. Goes across the middle and is picked off by Robertson. Inside the 15. The turnover gods giveth and they taketh away.
If you're going to win this game, you're going to have to get a few turnovers. A break went through the receiver's hands, but hey, great job by Robertson getting that ball and taking advantage of it and getting the ball back in Sterling's hands.
Robertson with the pick, and Haddonfield gives it right back to Sterling, and a red zone turnover. Set of downs here for Wilsey. He's being pressured. He's in trouble now. Cuts it back, and another one comes in at the near side.
Not sure. That might be
Ineligible?
an eligible man downfield, which can happen sometime when the play takes a little bit of time. But a good job by Wilsey eluding pressure out there. And, you know, one of his strengths is if he's one-on-one against a defender, he can make a miss. Was able to do that. Unfortunately, the penalty is going to go against Sterling. So that's a killer after a big play like that.
And you know what, Kevin? In the last few minutes here, the rain has really, really picked up. And when we were starting to set up here, our athletic director, Jared Claiborne, came in and said, hope you guys didn't look at the radar because there's a lot of green and yellow coming this way.
Here's a better look at it, Rob, as we go wide. You can see how it's really coming down.
1st and 15, ball at the 10. Wilsey, back to pass, looking across the middle, has a man completed. Jameer Beasley at the 40. Gutsy call in the rain, and Beasley hauls it in at the 40.
Well, you can see right now Sterling's playing this game the way they need to. Go for big plays early on. They're getting that. Get close to midfield. I like the time Rob Wilsey's getting. Sets his feet, makes a perfect throw to Jameer Beasley.
Again, Wilsey can throw. It's just the problem so far this year. He hasn't had a lot of time, and he had the time there.
1st and 10 for Sterling. They're going to put Harmer in motion. Hand it off right up the middle, and Haddonfield sniffs that one out. No gain. Helmet comes off.
Hit by an avalanche of Bulldogs.
And they're on the tackle, Nicky DeNoya, the junior defensive lineman, as the Jacob Johnson helmet comes off. It was Jacob Johnson on the carry, and because his helmet was ripped off, he's going to have to come out of the game.
Well, definitely a much different start to this game than the Haddonfield game the first time around. Sterling's had success on offense, got that first down in the first series, got the big play, and defensively, they've been able to make some stops.
5:20 and counting remaining here in a scoreless first quarter. Pitch, Shane L off the left side, trips as he comes across the 45, but stretches forward for a gain of 3.
And I want to give these Sterling kids some credit. I was down on the field for a good part of the warm-ups. A lot of times in a situation like this, the kids would be kind of quiet. They seem real loose. They seem to welcome the challenge, and so far it's showing.
Tad, I had the same feeling just in I wasn't down with you, but in talking to the kids in school.
3rd down and 5. Harmer trying to come to the near side, has the first down at the Haddonfield 45-yard line. Nice gain there, tackled on the play by Matthew Carey.
Guys, we're looking at a strong team that's playing with a lot of confidence right now. You're getting those runs off tackle. They're running the ball, moving the ball in this defense. You remember that last game. They really did absolutely nothing from the offensive standpoint. Very few first downs, but this game is definitely a different story here.
And already you've changed the field position, which was the biggest factor.
Estremera lines up as the lone wide receiver on the far side. They put Robertson in motion. He will get the call, and he scoots forward for a short gain of about 2 or 3.
And it looks like they're sending a lot of bodies out to that point of attack. If you remember that first game, Klaus was a monster. He came up with probably about 4 or 5 big plays early on in the first quarter. Right now, he's been silent.
Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8. 4 minutes remaining in a scoreless opening quarter. Robertson in motion again. Handoff goes to Harmer, gets smacked and then pushed backwards for a gain of 1.
So far up the middle has been the toughest for Sterling in this game and previous games against Haddonfield. Between the tackles is tough.
Matthew Pinsky on the tackle for the Bulldogs. 3rd and 6 on the way.
And I think the biggest thing is here we're getting 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 6s, 3rd and 5s, not the 3rd and 13s when we were tackled for a loss. They were getting in on Wilsey in that first game, doing a good job with the running game and really mixing things up, throwing the ball.
Harmer in motion. They're going to go to Robertson on the delay, and a beautiful tackle on the far side of the play. No gain as they unpile the bodies.
Well, that's that great pursuit from the middle. The two inside linebackers got to the outside. You saw Demir Robertson going to the outside, reading his blocks, but outstanding lateral pursuit from Haddonfield to the outside, beating him out to the edge.
Credit Vincent Brady on the tackle. 4th down in a punt situation, but an impressive drive for Sterling.
Oh, boy.
Watch out. Nick Harmer, great job to corral that low snap, and that could have been absolute disastrous on this wet field.
Well, we always say that's why you like having a kid like Nick Harmer there in the punting position, because of the fact that he's used to having his hands on the ball, and when you get those skips off the turf, which you're going to get tonight on a wet field, he can make something happen, get the ball, and get it away.
2:37 remaining here in the first. Still no score. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, Tad Kozaneski,
and
live at Haddonfield in the downpour. Foley under center, going to split his wide receivers to the near side. Handoff up the middle. Sterling all over it. Good job by Gavin Clark. Demir Robertson in on the tackle as well.
Guys, it looked like what they did was they had Gavin Clark shoot the gap. You crisscrossed and had Demir Robertson shoot a gap also. Jason Schulz covered the outside, and it looks like they have this offensive line field confused and thrown off.
Foley time. Going to dump it off to his back in the backfield out to the 30-yard. And that's going to bring up 7.
And this is where you got to watch the big play. Ad-lib under pressure and making things happen. That's what Sterling has got to fight to do to contain him, not allow him to get upfield.
100 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Foley on 3rd and 7 from the shotgun. Foley drops back to plenty of time, has a man out in the flat in Tommy Batson, who has the first down just shy of midfield. Tackled on the play by Nick Harmer, and they'll move the sticks.
Yeah, Batson just got away from coverage, and give full credit for making all his reads and finding Batson on the near side for a first down.
And that's probably one of the biggest differences between the two teams. When they need a big play pass, Haddonfield can get it.
Brown up the middle with some 40-yard line down to the 39.
Right now in these last couple plays, starting to play confidence, getting it when they can be dangerous, no question about it.
No huddle offense, they would call it. Edge, he does. Room, dives across 35 out to about the 30. Tackled on the play by Shane L.
The defensive ends crashed in and were just able to make the play.
Yeah, 40 inside, but didn't have the prayer to get out there and make the play. And second and shorts, and they definitely have
completion. This could be the last play of the quarter, rather, with 10 seconds remaining. Brown. No, there's going to be a quarterback keeper. Foley keeps himself, calls his own number, and picks up the first down. And that will be the last play of the first quarter. Haddonfield on the move. And they're inside the 25, and that'll do it for the quarter. Still no score here from Haddonfield. First round of the South Jersey Group 2 playoffs. We'll get off to a quick break and come back right after this.
Well, again, it's little things so far, Kevin, for Sterling. They had the ball deep in their own. Haddonfield had it. You got the turnover. You changed field position. So, again, so far that Sterling's doing what they have to do to hang in there in this game.
Yeah, they are. And, that was just a great play by Jay Foley, who does an outstanding job on the read option, getting himself upfield and has great quickness in making the decision and then shooting upfield in a hurry and getting them the first down.
And on that shot, Rob, you can see it is really coming down right now.
Yeah, and this just really picked up in the last couple minutes. I mean, it is an absolute downpour right now. I'm surprised to see this many fans out here, period.
Well, most of them were smart. They brought their umbrellas or raincoats.
Definitely needed for this one, I'll tell you. Impressive, though, thus far.
Still no score here from Haddonfield. Glad you joined us here on Sterling High School Radio and Channel 19. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, Tad Kozaneski. Sterling and Haddonfield a turnover each. No points to show for it yet, but Haddonfield on the move, 1st and 10 from the Sterling 32.
But Sterling will take this pace so far. No big plays.
Absolutely.
Took a turnover. So far,
Remember the
okay.
sellers. They're out working for us.
Teams will switch ends. Haddonfield going to go from left to right now. Foley going to split his backs from the shotgun. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Foley back to pass, looking right. Now going to keep it himself, and he's tackled and thrown down emphatically on the play. 75, who's not listed on our program.
Is that Lewis, Kevin, I think?
Nick Lewis, I believe, is 75.
Yeah,
There's a couple
looks like
jersey
he's
changes tonight. I know Nick Lewis, at least on our sheet, was a different number.
Well, good job of closing the pocket against Jay Foley and, again, not allowing him to get in a one-on-one situation with anybody.
2nd down and 9. Up the middle for Kadar. Oh, excuse me, Batson on the carry. It's getting hard to see those numbers.
Well, Batson, like Brown, is a kid who lowers his shoulder and can take people with him and get those extra 3-4 yards after initial contact.
Schul's on the tackle, not the one with the microphone on.
If he could, he would, though.
Might have a couple games of eligibility left in him.
Right.
How many plays would you last?
Running out there would probably.
Brown carrying a big stop by Demir Robertson at about the 11-yard line. And that's going to be close to a 1st down, if not.
Again, coming in here as the underdog, taking some chances. But unfortunately, Haddonfield's able to get that 1st down and keep the chains moving.
1st and 10 from the 11. 10:40 remaining in a scoreless 2nd. Brown, some room momentarily, but great job by Gavin Clark to found on the play for a short gain.
Yeah, that's a real nice job. Gavin Clark, a bigger guy. Brown, a kid who we've seen play by Gavin Clark, who's really doing a good job in there today.
Ooh, that was close to my eyeball.
Gain of about 1.5, 2nd down and a long 9 or 8:48, 3rd down and 9 on the way.
Here, if they can stop the gain here and maybe force him
Into a field goal.
Foley sets up in the shotguns with Green. This could be trouble. Brown is going to walk into the end zone for the touchdown.
Haddonfield executes so well. Guys, if you remember that offensively in that last game, it was a screen. We'll take some chances. Maybe we'll go with a blitz to try to get some penetration and put them back even further in 2nd down.
1st and 15 from the 30. Wilsey back to pass. Looking across the middle, and it is picked off yet again. Davis Smith on the interception with plenty of room in front of him. Comes to the near side. He's got a caravan. Smith field and then changed direction. Came back to the near side, and he had plenty of daylight to help him get into the end zone. Snap, the hold, the kick is up. Good. 9:20 remain, and what was once a to a 14-point Haddonfield lead.
Kept about it, though. If you're Sterling, you got it all. You just try to defensive play, cost you some points.
Yeah, no question. They've got Jameer. Is your guy you go up top for with the home run, but Davis Smith is equally, as I saw in that run back, almost as fast. Maybe not.
Those are the things you can't.
And you tried to go up top for the big play. I think right now Sterling has to get back into what they were doing before, when they did it out, getting some 1st downs, getting a little bit into that offensive risk.
Haddonfield getting points on offense and defense here tonight. Grozier on to kick it off. Kickoff goes out of bounds again, so Sterling.
Yeah.
He did. Just a lot of players would have grabbed it and panicked. Again, it gives you a shot. Now, if you're Sterling, you still
The ball. They had success on run, getting 1st downs. Nick Harmer from the wingback position coming around. A rhythm. You're taking time off the clock and not allowing.
Oh, jeez. Did it again.
Haddonfield to get the ball, but you can't have that happen.
This is the exact same scenario. Kickoff out of bounds. Get the ball at the 35. False start penalty. And that's going to move the ball back to the 30. It's going to be 1st and 15.
And again, this is where probably you're going to see Haddonfield stunt, take some chances. You've got a 2-touchdown lead. You got Sterling in a 1st and 15.
I found that already. I got
9:20 remaining, 14-0 Haddonfield.
And we
Pitch.
see it again. There's a flag. It's coming
Penalty
back.
marker again. Beasley on the carry, gains a yard, but let's take a look at the penalty.
I mean, unfortunately, Jared Matz on the left side jumped ahead again. Legal shift. There it is. That's what's at the fourth one now.
In a row.
And in order to play with the team that's #1 in South Jersey, you have to play a near-perfect game. And unfortunately, Sterling's digging themselves a hole.
Yeah, you can't give things away, yardage away, to great teams, and that's what you're looking at right now.
Penalty is declined, 2nd down and 15. Clock continues to run as we approach the 9-minute mark.
Did you do that with you guys? Mr. Myers talks to me. He's like, I'm trying not to talk about it.
Wilsey under center
I know.
with Brandon Grace, the lone wide receiver. They almost moved again. And a no gain there. Did the ball come out? No, it did not.
Ball carried by Robertson.
Robertson on the carry. Short gain. And it's almost like the Sterling offensively is to let the air out of the balloon here a little bit.
Yeah, they look like they were in a little bit of a rhythm, getting the ball out to midfield, getting a couple first downs, but when you put yourself in 1st and 2nd and 15s, this is what you're going to see.
3rd down, 12.
Now they're going to line up Estremera to the near side.
Estremera in for Sterling.
Jacob Johnson, the lone back in the backfield. Now they put Harmer in motion. Wilsey out to his right, out to Harmer. Harmer's got some room, and he is tackled shy of the 1st down. A beautiful tackle out there by Chris Brown.
Well, a real nice play, getting Harmer out to the flat. Wilsey getting some time there, sets the feet, and throws a perfect strike to Harmer.
And an interesting call coming up here.
You got to go.
Yeah,
Harmer's a yard shy.
And this is the play that you go for when you're an underdog coming in with nothing to lose.
4th down and 1. Haddonfield digs in defensively. Wilsey is not going to get there, and Haddonfield will take over on downs.
6, Wilsey.
I don't know if Wilsey lost his footing. He actually lost a yard on that, and things starting to come unraveled here for Sterling offensively.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's a play again. You just got to go for it and hope you make it. Unfortunately, you didn't. So now it's really on your defense to try and bail
Haddonfield
you out.
really bunched everybody up there in the middle and had great penetration. So Sterling right now absolutely has to come up with a stop, or this game could get away from him.
After the turnover on downs, 1st and 10 for Haddonfield at the Sterling 44-yard line, already leading 14-0 with 7:34 left to go in the half. Haddonfield has a touchdown on offense and special and defense as well. The only thing they're missing is a touchdown on special teams to complete the hat trick. Hockey reference number 1.
Ding.
Foley from the shotgun, looking to pass. Has a man. Wide open is Foley, and it is caught by Foley for the touchdown. A 44-yard touchdown strike. Foley, and it's now 20-0.
Well,
they're awake now.
Had Foley one-on-one with Jameer Beasley, and Jameer Beasley was there, just kind of lost track of the ball, and Foley, who gets up and gets passes as well as anybody, got that one, and just like that, Haddonfield right now is really on a roll.
And it's just Haddonfield capitalizing on 2 Sterling mistakes, penalties, and now the turnover on downs, which wasn't a bad call in that situation. No. But the defense came up strong. The extra point, the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 7:23 remaining in the half. Haddonfield, in a matter of 3 minutes, has 21 points.
Well, that's what they can do. They can strike quick. We've seen them do that to a lot of teams. And, you know, we said the mark of a good program came out. Things didn't work out well for them. You had the turnover. You had a team that was getting some first downs against you. But these guys win because they forget what happened on the last play and focus on the next play. And that's why you're looking at Haddonfield right now, up 21-0. As you said, Rob, scores very quickly in a short period of time.
And again, when you're playing the #1 team in South Jersey, you have to play the perfect game by this new wacky born index thing that's going on. If you're playing a spread down, it was a 29-point difference between these two, and it's just tough. Sterling played decent to start, but Haddonfield's just a tremendous team.
And you have to look back at the Sterling penalties, 3 or 4 in a row that backed them up and made it difficult for Sterling. 7:23 remaining in the half. Haddonfield up very quickly, 21-0. The latest connection, a 44-yard touchdown pass from Foley to Foley.
There's still time to buy a 50-50
In a rainy Friday night here from Haddonfield. Glad you joined us here on Sterling TV 19 and Sterling Radio. Rob Strauss, Kevin Schulz, Tad Kozaneski. Joining in the second half, John Hallwood is going to step in.
Really, the only thing Haddonfield's done wrong is kick it out of bounds twice on a kickoff, but it hasn't hurt them.
Grozier on to kick off yet again, aiming for the same side, and they're going to get the same result. And I wonder if they're starting to kick away from Beasley. They don't want him getting in open space, and that's probably the wise thing to do, considering your defense is playing pretty darn well right now.
Yeah, because initially they were kicking it to him. I know throughout that last game and the first one in this game, but they'll take it having Sterling on the 35-yard line.
1st and 10 for Sterling. Broken record 3 times in a row they've been in this spot. Haven't gotten the result they've wanted yet. Maybe 3rd time's a charm here. Coming near side. That's Beasley on the carry. Short gain out to about the 38-yard line. Tackled right into the Haddonfield bench. And you have to wonder, guys, if any teams are playing their opening round playoff game tonight and they're not on turf, it is going to be really, really messy.
It's going to affect the outcome of some games, no question about it.
I did see that there were a couple games throughout Central and South Jersey that have been moved to tomorrow night.
Well, I know for a fact Highland is playing tonight at home, and that is a grass field.
Not fun.
Johnson goes nowhere.
Kevin, is this a case where the Haddonfield coaches have just changed something? Because we're almost going nowhere now.
Amber, what time is it?
Yeah, it looks like, and especially now, I think with the lead, you're seeing them stunt. Not quite sure what happened on that one. There might have been a pinch right there, but they definitely had bodies at that point of attack right there and were able to make the stop on Johnson.
Big play here for Sterling. 3rd and 6 with 6:15 remaining in the half. Sterling trailing 21-0. Robertson in motion. They're going to give it to Harmer, going to the far side, and he is going to get the first down and more. Harmer's got some room on the far sideline, and he is tackled inside the 35 down to the 31.
Good job on that right side, and you had Nick Harmer gets the ball close to the line of scrimmage, and the thing I like about Nick Harmer, when he gets to the outside, turns his shoulders upfield in a hurry, gets upfield for a big first down for Sterling.
Rain is out to his left, completes it inside the 25, out the 22, gain of 8.
Off to that far side to get them close to that 4th down play. They came back with Demir Robertson and definitely find an opening in the Haddonfield defense when they're doing that. First to the far side, now to the near side.
Sterling in need of some points here, Tad.
Yes, they do. Time's starting to run down, but again, a real big play and then a nice throw there.
2nd down and 2, ball at the 22. 2s are wild. Harmer off to the right side, has the first down inside the red zone, the furthest they've been all night long. It's going to be 1st and 10 from about the 16.
And the thing I liked about that play is you kind of cut into the heart of what Haddonfield does so well, and that's that pursuit to the outside. They're a team that defensively always nullifies that cutback. Sterling did it, and Nick Harmer gets a big first down.
Under 5 remaining in the half. Sterling trailing 21-0. And after a dismal start to this quarter offensively, they've really rebounded here on this drive.
What time is it right now?
Ball at the 17. Harmer's in motion. Little reverse. Going to come near side to Beasley. Beasley pursued nicely. Penalty marker comes in late as he's tackled at the 16.
That's usually in the area what you think might be holding.
Yeah.
You guys have your numbers?
And you are
Yep.
correct, Tad. You're
That's
1
it.
for 1 on the night.
Again, a good play call, a
Yep.
good try. Mix it up.
Well, they're definitely trying to get the ball in Beasley's hands. That's the time we've seen him. That's your fastest. But defensively, always gets a lot of Beasley with his
Ball on the 29-yard line.
The scene, he's been very impressive. We haven't seen in a ball in his area in a couple weeks.
Well, he's going to line up on the near side. Haddonfield equals.
Well, that was a play that was down, and on that play, they didn't get bodies to the outside, but were the linebackers out to the outside, got off their tackle, got off the blocks, and were able to.
In and out of the hands of Harmer. He can't. Receivers were in the area, match it, and Harmer got his hands on it, couldn't bring it down.
Just wasn't able to hold it. Thought he'd get it on the.
Wilsey's, for the most part, getting the ball. They just got to come up and make a play.
Yeah, there, and I'm impressed with them giving them time. You know, that was something that was an issue in the first time around against Haddonfield. Didn't have a whole lot of time to throw, but they're definitely giving them time.
3:30 remaining in the half. 3rd and 19 on the way for Sterling. Ball at the Haddonfield 28. This is the deepest Sterling has been in Bulldog territory here this evening, in desperate need of some points as we get closer and closer to halftime. They're going to go with 2 wide receivers set to the near side.
Wouldn't be surprised if they came with a blitz, but
Wilsey cross the middle, in and out of the hands of Beasley. He needed to bring that one down. Beasley didn't have the first down, but it would have made it 4th and manageable.
yeah.
But now you're looking at 4th and nearly 20.
That's not it.
It's a shame because, again, that ball's there. It's not an easy night to catch it, but it's there.
It's there, yeah. Tough catch to make, like I said, on a wet night. And that's definitely affecting the passing game, no question about it.
Man on the play for the Dogs.
No, going for it, and that's what you have to do in this situation.
So they got to get a first down, Rob, about the 6-yard line.
Sterling 0 for 1 on 4th down conversions here tonight. Wilsey this time from the shotgun, going to roll out to his left. He is in some trouble, puts it up, and it is caught at about the 20-yard on the reception.
First catch.
And that's the catch. Estramera is going to be a player, no question.
Over the next 3 years, thankfully.
And let's give a shout-out to our freshman team who had a heck of a season. I think they went 5-2, I believe, if I remember correctly. And quarterback you're going to see next year, Estramera, they're going to be tough.
Well, if I'm Sterling right now, I'm going for the ball. Just to try to make something happen.
Haddonfield from their Foley from the shotgun. Cody and Jason's in on the sack.
Chapman came around from that Foles, came up the middle. They had and to Jay Foley.
Happened a lot. Might change the play calling for Haddonfield now.
Yeah, and you know, you've got him in a second, and talking about what, 18 right now, 19?
You have to wonder if Haddonfield was going for the kill there on the pass.
The way he held the ball, he was looking deep.
2nd and 19, ball at the 5. A little bit more conservative play call here. They're going to go to Brown as he's tackled as he approaches the 10-yard line. Sterling going to take a timeout here. 2:21 remaining in the half. It's going to be a 3rd and about 13 after the timeout.
And it looked like with Brown getting the ball, I don't know if that was Robertson, in on Brown, whoever it was going for the ball. It looked like they were trying to go for the ball. And I think you've got to do that. You've got to do something to really create a turnover. I mean, we saw Collingswood do it to us last week. It's just opportunistic football.
How big was that sack, though? I mean, at least it keeps you breathing.
Yeah, sure.
Now you're just hoping to force a punt. Unofficially, Rob, I believe that's the first timeout that Sterling has called. They have 2 timeouts left on the board. So if you can stop here, you have a shot to get the ball back in some decent position.
First Sterling timeout, own 10-yard line. Sack by Cody Chapman and Jason Schulz have put Haddonfield up against the wall here a little bit.
Yeah, this is where you got to watch out for the screen.
From the shotgun, Foley looking, and he is going to go down at about the 10. Sterling now will take a timeout with 2:10 remaining.
They're doing a much better job. And I think legs out of the equation right now. And that's a big part of what Haddonfield does on the offensive side of the ball.
The numbers on Foley. Foley went 10 of 18 for one. Try and, it's kind of looking at 70 for 123 and over 1,100 yards passing, 16 touchdowns and only 3 picks. Count 4 now.
It looks like we're playing return, Rob.
Grozier drops it momentarily, but gets a nice punt away. And it's
Probably wish that he came up and just caught that in the air. Well, you got what?
For that, it's on the far side, but it looked like
under 90 seconds left to go and make it for an interesting looking to pass. The lefty puts it up.
the area and
I'll text her.
coverage picking up the ball.
Willsey from the shotgun now. Completion to Robertson. Does not get the first down. He's going to be timeout Haddonfield with 1:13 remaining in the half.
Wow, I guess you got, I don't know, Kevin, I got to go
Have
here.
to go for it, absolutely.
I mean, here's the distance. You see it on the far side. It's almost a full 2 yards that you got to go.
Sterling 0 for 2 on 4th.
Are they bringing the punt? Sure.
Looks like they are. Oh, no, okay.
Timeout Haddonfield, the 2 timeouts remaining. Sterling just 1. For 3 on 4th down conversions are the Silver Knights. And Haddonfield, 68 seconds and 2 timeouts to end the half.
Just a great defense play there. That guy, I guess that's Brown, 22. He's made a couple real nice stops defensively. And now,
Race to the edge, getting some hide, but give credit. Like I said, their linebackers flight, get off their blocks as well as anybody, and absolutely were able to do it in that situation to make a big.
After the Haddonfield takes over first and 46. Foley with 2 receivers in the near side, 1 split to the far side, and I believe Sterling got Haddonfield to move early, and that might cost him 5 yards. One of the rare miscues from the Bulldogs here tonight. That might be their first penalty.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic. A play Sterling did a lot against Haddon Heights, but yeah, usually you're not.
So that'll back him up 5, 1st and 15 from the 41. 8 seconds and 2 timeouts to work. Opening Brown. Brown go walking into the end zone for a touchdown. Excuse me, it's Davis Smith.
Well, guys, when you can, after about 4 seconds, you get to the 5th, 6th, 7th second of a play, that's when the receivers can come off, and that's exactly what happened there.
that's all Foley, your quarterback. Looked like Sterling was going to sack. He escaped. And then that happens. Defensive breakdowns and a big play.
Foley's another double-digit passing touchdown for Foley. And the second quarter has not been kind to Sterling here tonight. The extra point, the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 54 seconds remaining. It's 28-0 Haddonfield.
They're number 1 for a reason. That's all you can say, folks. They find a way. If you make a mistake, they find a way to pounce on it and score some points. And Frank Delana, you see him, the head coach there, Kevin. He has completely turned this program around.
Yeah, no question about it. Like we said, this was a soccer school, a school that, yeah, we would chalk up as a win most of the time in our schedule. But, boy, you know, when you talk about the class of the Colonial Conference, the couple names that come to your mind are Haddonfield, West Deptford, Paulsboro, and it's been that way for a good 10 years now.
Very, very impressive team. And again, it goes back to these are teams, you have to come out and beat them. They will not hand you the game. And you make mistakes, they take advantage, and that's what's happening tonight.
No, he's gonna click.
54 seconds remaining in the half. This game was tied at 0 with 9:30 remaining in the second. And a flurry of Sterling penalties and big plays and turnovers has this ballooned out to a 28-point Haddonfield lead. Grozier on to kick off, back deep to receive for Sterling. Jameer Beasley and Shane L. We'll see if Grozier goes out of bounds to the far side yet again. Now they're going to kick it this time to Beasley. Beasley picks it up at his own 4-yard line. Beasley tries to go in the middle, and he's not going to go anywhere. In fact, he's going to get out to about the 21-yard line. 48 seconds. Sterling, 1 timeout left.
I think you're almost to the point now you just kneel it down. Let's go to halftime.
Yeah, I agree.
There's nothing good can happen down here.
Now this is a different mindset than you would have had the previous couple times you got the ball.
1st and 10 for Sterling, trailing 28-0. And the ball at the 21-yard line. Look at Sterling not going to kneel down here. Harmer in motion. Handed off up the middle. A short gain, I believe that's Jacob Johnson on the carry. Out to about the 24.
He gets lost in the line.
Some time at linebacker when
Barring an incompletion, this will be the final play of the half with just 10 seconds remaining. Willsey going to put Harmer in motion to the far side yet again. And Jacob Johnson is going to go nowhere, and that's how the half will end. 28-0 Haddonfield. It's been all Bulldogs here in the opening round of the South Jersey Group 2 playoffs. We're going to get off to a really quick break for halftime, come back and reassess the first half and look ahead to the second half. You're listening to live coverage of Sterling football on Channel 19 and Sterling High School Radio. 28-0 Bulldogs at the half. We'll be back with second half action right after this.
And as we wind the music down, I think we are just about set here. We want to welcome John Hallwood to the broadcast. John, one of our broadcasting students. He's in the radio class. He is a freshman. John is going to take over the play-by-play duty. So, John, welcome to the game tonight.
Thank you.
And John's been on with us doing color, doing an incredible job. And it's been a pleasure to work with you, John. You're going to do a great job tonight.
So what's happening is Mr. Strauss had to move along. He helped get us started here. John is going to help while I'm doing camera. Well, sorry. And Kevin is doing the analyzation here. So it's a neat opportunity for a young man to get a chance to kind of learn what it's about here. So that's what this program is all about. And sometimes students take advantage of it, and John is one of them. So, again, in a couple minutes, you're going to hear John give his version of play-by-play here from Haddonfield High Schools. We're getting ready for second half. Sterling down 28-0. Unfortunately, kind of what was expected coming in, but Sterling started off very well in this game.
Yeah, you felt pretty good at the end of the first quarter. Not only looking at the score, but some of the things that Sterling was able to do. They made some stops defensively. They moved the ball, something they didn't even come close to doing the first time around against Haddonfield. But Haddonfield showed why they're the top team in South Jersey. They're very opportunistic. You had the interception for a score and just some big plays.
All right, we're going to welcome our TV audience back now. And we welcome back everybody here in Sterling TV 19. Tad Kozaneski, Kevin Schulz, Rob Strauss has moved on, and we introduce a student here taking over play-by-play. We have John Hallwood, a freshman of our broadcasting department. He is going to take over. John, welcome to the broadcast, and it's all yours.
Okay.
As we start at 28-0, is Sterling unfortunately going to have to kick off.
Of course, Haddonfield won the toss and deferred, kicked off to Sterling. So this is where, if you're out there, coaches are going to be looking, man. Who's playing hard? It's still another half of football. If you love playing football, you love being out here.
Harmer's going to straight up and down, not the sideways as we've seen before.
Yeah, the normal kick here. So for the seniors, Kevin, most likely this is going to be their last half of football.
Well, let's make the most of it, the coaches said. The ball is up, and the start of the second half is on the way. And gobbled up at the 24-yard line. Oh, wait, no, 29-yard line. My mistake.
And that's Brown that brought that back. Brown, one of the featured players in this team. Kevin, what are you looking for from Sterling defensively? What are some of the things that you're trying to emphasize as we start these set of downs?
Well, at this point, you want to continue to do some of the things you had success with in the first half. And really the first half was about a lot of big plays. I mean, you made things, especially in that first score, Haddonfield scored, but you made things difficult for them to score. Put them in a lot of third down situations, but obviously the big plays were the killer in that first half.
But don't forget about that one play against got them in fourth down at their own end zone too. Foley was in the pocket, run down in the middle, and Beasley trying to catch him. Can he get him? Yes, he does.
Well, that's Chris Brown right down the middle, and that's something that Sterling was able to stop in the first half, Kevin, but not there.
Not on that play, and not sure if Sterling went with a stunt blitz or what exactly happened there, but boy, Brown had a lot of room and put the afterburners on there. This kid is somebody who can run. Obviously had a lot of opening there. Good job up front by the offensive line of Haddonfield. We've seen him catch the ball and really does it all. The back position.
John Foley passes it to Chris Brown again. Chris Brown gets tackled by
Shane L.
Shane L.
Nice open field tackle there with a little authority.
Yeah, and we've seen Shane L. I know, towards the end of that Collingswood game, was coming up and making a lot of plays to the outside. Really got a lot of speed.
Okay, Foley in the I position. Passes it to, well, actually gives it to Sheen Ellery. Right down the middle for a short gain, and it's 3rd down and 9.
It looked like Chapman there held his ground, was able to stop the gap and make the play there.
Yeah, I know like I said, they've been doing some different things shooting the gap, and that's why you're seeing some of the stops, but obviously have not been able to do it consistently. And again, the big play has hurt Sterling.
Jay Foley back in the pocket, looking at the throw. Drolly scrambling, throws it up at the end zone, and they say it's caught. Shane Alley with the coverage, but the 12.
Number 21 there.
That's Davis Smith. Guys, he can go up in one-on-one coverage and get a ball as well as anybody. And we talked about him last year getting cleared day of the game and came up with 2 big catches in traffic that were really the difference in that playoff game last year.
And, John, that was just a jump ball. Foley just threw it up and said, go get it, and he made the play.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Haddonfield going to make the kick. The kick is up, and the kick is good.
So that makes it 35-0 Haddonfield. And if you're not familiar with the rules of high school football, if I'm now 34-0.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't count. See, I needed my math guy.
No,
to jump in.
the kick was no good.
Wait, no good? I thought it was good.
I thought it was good too. So that's the kind of luck it's been. Now, had that kick gone through, and it was 35-0, the clock would continue to run, and we might get out of here before the rain hits. Unfortunately, now the kick was missed, and now we will play a regular score game. And I can almost guarantee you with that, Kevin, we are going to be getting a lightning storm by the time this one's over. I got a feeling. One of those things.
And just getting back to what Haddonfield brings to the table, I mean, you've got Davis Smith, Chris Brown, the 2 Foley brothers.
And Davis Smith.
And you've just got too many playmakers, I think, to handle. And obviously, you're looking at the number 1 seed. A lot of times you'll have number 1 seeds that people say, you know what, I like some other teams. They're clearly the favorite in Group 2.
Number 1 team in South Jersey as well as we get set for the kickoff. 34-0. Haddonfield leads. I'm telling you, Kevin, we are going to get drenched in it. I can feel it. That was the kiss of death, missing that one there. Right now, if it's raining or drizzling, it's not drizzling at all. Barely.
Henry about to kick it away. Kicks it high up. And that is Shaynell to receive it, using Beasley as a block. And will be stopped by the Haddonfield special teams at the, 25-yard line.
So, again, if you're listening live, it's Tad Kosneski, Kevin Schulz. We have one of our broadcasting students who giving this a shot, John Hallwood. Again, this is very, very difficult to do, and the fact that we have a young man, a freshman, who's giving this a shot. Again, just bear with us through the broadcast here as John's learning. That's part of the deal here.
That's right. Yep. On the job training.
Weasley under center. Weasley passes to Harmer. Harmer goes around. And Harmer is tackled at the 29-yard line.
And just a wall of bodies going to the outside. And, we talked about Haddonfield being the number 1 team in South Jersey. I think this is an exceptionally strong Group 2 bracket. You've got West Deptford year in and year out, a very good team. But West Deptford, like Haddonfield, has a lot of players returning from a team that was runner-up in Group 2. Of course, Haddonfield winning Group 2 last year and returning just about everybody.
Weasley under center, and he passed it, gave it to Johnson, who was tackled straight away after he got in the middle, and just a yard of a pickup.
We talked about Johnson's size. He's not a very big guy. I'll tell you what, we lose him sometimes up here from our great vantage point.
You know, he's had a lot of nice runs this year, especially when people are focusing on Demir Robertson, Nick Harmer.
Weasley looking to throw. Passes it to Harmer. This is a screen. Oh, tough play right there.
Chris Brown.
But definitely gets the first down.
Yeah, well, good job. Willsey executing the screen, gets it out to Harmer. Kind of a middle screen right there. Had a lot of field and is able to get a first down. So right now you're forgetting about the score and just try and go out there and make plays. That's basically how I think you have to approach things at this point.
And Mother Nature has turned on the rain faucet again as the rain is starting to pick up.
Okay. Weasley under center again. Johnson in the back. Harmer in motion. Weasley looking at a pass. Weasley passes it to Harmer and is out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
And guys, if they've had one play, you know, I've had certain plays that have had a little bit of success. If you've had one play that's had fairly consistent success, it's that rollout to the flat. We've seen it to Harmer. A couple times to the far side. We've seen it to Demir Robertson on the near side. So a play that's worked for Sterling, and they go to it right there and get about a 7-yard gain.
Billsy under center. Passes it to Robinson. Robinson, ooh, just shy, but Haddonfield defense just pushing him back.
Yeah, I think with the spot, they're going to get a first.
Sterling so far has been moving the ball pretty well this second half.
Friggin' Strauss. He ruined the whole first half.
Yeah. I want to thank Rob for coming down here. I had this equipment so we could go live for this.
It's away from a tackle, throws it upfield. Up to caught by Jordan Matchett.
Yeah, so Matchett, the difference, Kevin, when you talk about an elite team and a team that's the elite team makes that play and a struggling team doesn't.
Yeah, Matchett had him in the backfield, but went around to the outside field, had Matchett, but just wasn't hauled in.
And I don't know.
They're trying to escape, gets nowhere, and Lardage up to the by Drew.
Receivers doing a good job going up, and able to, they do, and allowing Willsey to have time.
Sophomore defensive and offensive lineman watching the game from his couch tonight. He's rooting on the freshman. And
Jay Foley passed
times and his goal very quickly, and I think there were stops initially, but right now Haddonfield's just riding the wave.
this time. Last time they missed it. 41 Haddonfield, Sterling zip.
And the kick is up.
And that goes to the depth of this Haddonfield team as well, Kevin. They can go to their second and maybe eventually third-string players. And so, again, we have 5:26 to go here. And is put into play with a 35-point lead. The clock.
Healthy.
Yeah, especially if you're in field. You know you have another game coming up. And going to be an odd situation for the Sterling team because in pairs you would have a Thanksgiving ends tonight.
December the 13th.
So Taniski, Kevin Schulz, freshman announcer, announcing play-by-play, and it's on television, which takes a lot of guts. John is doing a tremendous.
Okay. After the touchdown by Batson. Henry kicks it up, and it looks like Beasley will have it, and he'll run up from, he'll be stopped actually. Definitely a hard hit there, and will be stopped at the 23.
I'll give him credit. you gotta be a little crazy to be a return man in football because
you're taking a hit. You're running into a wall of tacklers.
I mean, in essence, it's almost like saying, "See that brick wall over there, at Haddonfield High School? I want you to run full speed into it, and hope that you can come away with it." I mean, I admire anybody who can do that.
Yep.
It's very difficult to do.
Okay.
Wilsey.
Wilsey.
Yes.
I'll get it someday.
Yes.
Wilsey under the puck, under center. Harmer has it. Harmer cuts in. Harmer trying to get as much yardage as he could, and he'll get about 5, if not 4.
Harmer just going off to the right side, and what a year he's had. One of the seniors who's really come up big, come up with some big plays. on both the offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball, is taking care of the punting duties, which is not always an easy thing. You know, he's got to field at time really.
And Robinson tries to get through the middle, but stopped almost instantly by the Haddonfield defense. And it will be 3rd down and...
Oh, geez. Just laid there for a second. I'm glad he's okay. He scared me there for a second.
Didn't see him laying down.
Ball carried by Demir Robertson.
Robinson only gets a short gain right there.
And now the rain is really coming down again.
Yeah, sometimes when you look at the light, it's deceiving. It looks heavier than it is, but
it's coming down.
This is the real deal of vegetation.
As we widen it out, you get a good look at that there.
Okay, Willsey looking to throw. Willsey under trouble, starts to run with it. Could be getting the first. They say they have.
Again, you look at trying to do everything he can back there. Has really had a nice year. I know you look at probably his biggest game was the Deptford game, coming up with 2 big plays defensively, offensively, scores as he did throughout the season, and really doing a nice job back there. Just like I said, tonight we're going against a team that's just better. It's that simple.
He throws to Robinson, gets it wide open too. At the 30, and he's stopped short of the 20-yard line, wide open.
That was a great throw and well done.
Yeah, kind of a corner route, a little deeper version of what we see with them usually, just throwing the ball out to the flat where they've had success, but had Demir Robertson go to the corner, and Willsey threw a perfect strike right to him, and Robertson hauled it in.
Kind of hobbles off, but he made the play there. He got hurt a play before that.
Yeah, I know Robertson, he was out for a few games, but he's had a fine year as a senior coming in here.
Willsey passes it to Sheen Al. Sheen Al cuts in again, gets a few more. 17-yard line.
Said has come in here this year. First year as a starter, as a junior, and I know in that depth, a couple nice plays. Don't think they're not counting on him.
And a short gain, but
I'll add to that they're still out there playing hard, making plays, and something that's not an easy thing to do.
When you and I have been broadcasting games, hey, they are just here to. You can ask for a team in your. They had their backs against the wall and they're just playing.
6 seconds left, but
Willsey,
yeah, run.
And is able to get the first down.
All right, we're going to take a. We know. It makes me feel good. You know what? These guys are trying. They're giving everything they can and try to get this ball in the end zone. And
you said football is. I mean, all the sports work very hard, and football is definitely one of them where the commitment in this day and age is definitely way above what it was even 20, 25 years ago with the working out throughout the entire summer.
All right, as we get set for fourth quarter action here in Sterling TV 19, let's go back to John Hallwood, see if he can call his first touchdown in his broadcast career.
Willsey in the pocket, throws it up to Harmer, but it's dropped, it's touchdown. Haddonfield almost picked it off, but dropped it, and Harmer was luckily there to catch it.
Yeah, it was a tip, and Nick Harmer just hauled it in for the touchdown. And Sterling finishes off a nice drive right there, moves the ball downfield, and is able to get one in there.
Again, you're due a break. I mean, the defender was there, went through the defender's hands. Harmer did the job, made the play, put 6 on the board for Sterling.
And this will probably be Harmer's last touchdown.
Well, could be. We'll see. We still got some time to go here.
Time, yep.
Yeah. Harmer is going to be the one to kick it. Stumble kick, but the kick is up. And what do they say? It was good.
Kick is up and good.
So if I check my math, it's 41-7.
There we go.
We'll take a break. Back with more in a moment. That was a good job by Willsey there. That was a tough snap that he had to reach up high for just to get that one down. And as you can see in your picture, it is really starting to kick in again on this rain.
Well, fortunately, we weren't victims of the Thunder and Lightning. Of course,
Oh,
me
yeah.
saying that now will have that happen.
Well-
Channel 19 Kiss of Death is always lingers, John. It always kind of is there, like a storm cloud.
I want to thank the teachers union here who gave us a tent that we are standing under right now. So we are at the top of the bleachers. I'll turn a little bit your way, Kevin, here, and you can see we are under a tent. There's some of the crowd, some of the parents still left from Sterling up here. I mean, hanging in there. Again, if you're a senior parent, you're watching your son play for what could be the last time in his football career.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys started playing when they're 6, 7 years old. So they've been together for a long period of time. So it's it's the end, and it's a very emotional time for everybody.
11:01 to go here in this ball game in the Sterling football season. And again, as Sterling will kick off, we will there must have been a penalty on the that we missed there. Sterling going to kick off, and back to John.
Harmer's going to be kicking this one off. We haven't seen Sterling kick it off that much this recently.
Kevin, I don't know if you go for an onside kick in this situation, but you could.
Yeah,
You probably don't, but
Probably
you could.
don't,
But
yeah.
you could.
you could.
That would tend to anger the other
Yeah,
team
I'm
if you
thinking they're
did.
going to kick it off.
Here we go. I guess we'll see who's right. Is it going to be an onside kick?
Yeah, I would think you'll kick off, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. Harmer. Yep. Kicks it off, up, and into the goal line.
Ball will be brought out to the
So it'll come out to the 20.
Yep. Where Jay Foley and the Haddonfield offense will be taking place at I believe at the 20-yard line.
Yes, and you'll just have to. We'll have to have a heads up here, John, as I'm sure you're going to see a lot of substitutions now for both teams as we pick things up.
Yeah, this is when you bring the younger guys in. It's you got the running clock, the lead.
Well, we had the running clock, right?
I know. I'm sure right. It's off now with the
We're off
extra point.
by a point. Yes. So we're going to play for a while now. We're dry. We're under the tent.
Yeah.
We'll survive.
Okay. Joe.
Let's see who our quarterback is here first.
Oh, wait, no, it's not. It is. I think it's
Foley.
Jack.
It is
Oh, it's
Foley
Foley?
still?
Foley,
Okay,
yeah.
still number
Okay.
2. All right.
Well, Foley gives it to one of his running backs who instantly gets through, and that was Batston with a first down pickup. Oh, wait, no, I'm
Close.
wrong. Close to a first down.
And Batson's been impressive. A kid who hits the hole quickly and takes people with him. It's a lot of yards after contact.
Definitely, after he hits open field, he hits another gear.
And it's the case right now. They're just going to stand. They don't take a huddle. They'll look. Then they'll look for the back judge to count off the play clock.
Foley
And that's what we're waiting for here.
in the I formation. Haddonfield in the I formation. 2 wide receivers on the right. Foley gives it to, I think that's Baston again, with now the first down and a little bit more.
And guys, the other thing, when you talk about football, give credit as we see the cheerleaders walking off over there, they do a great job. They come out here, they work very hard, and a lot of them go to different camps, and a lot of them are cheering in their last game. So you give kudos to them. Out there in the rain, they're always there supporting the team, as well as we can't forget the band, all those guys that come out to the games and provide the entertainment. And they're kids that really put a ton of time into everything.
That was not Jay Foley. That was, I believe, to be Jack, a junior, taking that through ball. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to keep Jack in there.
Jack Narducci is in at quarterback.
All right, there you go. Jack Narducci now the quarterback.
Foley out of the game and played another stellar game. We continue to say how we're really impressed with his ability to move around and, do what he needs to do to keep this offense rolling, keep the big plays going, plays where he can either run to get a first down or, most notably, Tad, with the big play, extending the play, giving his receivers a couple extra seconds to get off of coverage, and that led to the one big touchdown right before the first half.
Well, Jack next year will probably be likely taking that QB spot for after Jay Foley leaves, since Jay Foley is a senior. And the Sterling defense swallows up Ben.
Good job up front. Center up front that are playing in their last game. Jameer Beasley on the outside. He's provided a lot of explosive moments around that one kickoff back for the touchdown against Haddonfield to start the game.
Jack under center. Jack gives it to, that is Mike DeFeo, if I am saying that right.
Yeah, that's right. And Chapman there. Cody made a nice play.
And I've been looking at Robinson, and he seems to be like relaxed, and like even though it's his last game and all, he just seems to go flow with the rhythm.
That's all you can do now.
Definitely dancing with the band.
Yes, here you go. Definitely not hanging his head.
Nope. Definitely.
Well, can we get a special teams?
It's 4th and 14 with 6:37 seconds remaining. 6 minutes and 37 seconds. Punts it. Who's he going to go to? It's going to go to Wilsey, who breaks a tackle and gets up to.
Well, that's got to be a flag there.
Almost planted him on the bench.
Yeah, that was a tackle. 5 feet out of bounds. That should be a flag. What they're looking at there.
Oh, I think that's what they're going to be. No.
No.
No, wait.
All right, well, Sterling, a chance maybe to put something else in the.
Yeah, just keep. I don't know what they were doing. I want to get some younger guys here, no question. But, minutes and 20 is football for some of these guys.
Match it. But Wheelsley looking for Robinson. Oh, and so close to making that connection. But Luke tips it off and knocks it down.
That was a nice defensive play because that looked like a touchdown, Kev.
Yeah, one of the younger guys coming up, and that's what we said. We talked about what these guys do on the offensive side of the ball and going for the ball, but really did a nice job in coverage when you're talking about what the starters had done, and now some of the younger guys are following suit.
Luke, by the way, was a senior. Wilsey under center. Beasley in motion. Passes it to Beasley. Oh, off his hands and tipped up. Really lucky not to be picked off there again. And Drew was definitely close there to picking that off and maybe scoring.
That's always that dangerous area where if there's any type of pick, if a defender gets his hands on it, there's nothing but daylight in front of him.
Yeah, you're scoring. So it's a shame because that ball's there again.
John Maines is number 3.
Oops, sorry, it was John Marins that was almost there, almost picked it off. Wilsey in the pocket with Robinson in motion, looking, throws it to Robinson, almost grabbed, and Magic probably like a short of getting the first down.
Mike Estremera looked like.
Hey, I mean, the only down point is it looked like if he caught it and turned upfield, he would have got the first down. He tried to play around a little bit with it. Now it's a 4th down.
But, like we said, impressive where he's not just happy with the catch as some guys might be as freshmen coming in. Wants to turn the shoulders upfield and is aggressive making the run after the catch.
Okay. Wilsey, again, back in the under center. Beasley has it, trying to go for the run, cuts in, and definitely gets the first down. They were a yard short on that last play. I thought they got that.
Tackle by number 53, Hutchinson.
But they converge on the 4th down, and it will be 1st and 10 on Haddonfield's 32-yard line.
Jameer Beasley getting that first down there. And of course, he's looking ahead to a track. Probably going to be a track guy in college. I know that's what he was.
I think Robertson might be looking for Dancing with the Stars, man. He can't stop dancing out there.
Billsy looking to throw. Throws it high. Jump up. Ball. Oh! That could be a pass interference, and Robinson looks hurt.
Yeah, that was definitely a collision. I think that is going to be incidental contact. That's one of those ones where they were both going for it. You're looking at the ball, you're not really seeing where the other body was, but it was.
He wants to stay in. That was a great effort, nonetheless. All right, show him how to dance, Rob. I like it.
Robinson just shaking that one off. Says, nothing.
Well, he said he's a senior, right, Kevin?
Yes.
Yeah, so, hey, he goes, Coach, I got 5 minutes to go. I'm staying.
Okay. Wilsey in the pocket, yeah. Passes it to keeps it himself. I was totally fooled. The defense was totally fooled, and Wilsey gets to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, that's that read option right there, and just looking to see what's in front of him. Pulls it, takes it himself, and gets another first down.
It looks so odd because you ride with your running back, but he's riding him and nobody's there, and he's riding him and nobody's there, and he said, you know what, I'm taking this one.
That's it, yep.
That's why it looks so odd.
And Rob Wilsey, a very good runner at the quarterback position, no question about it.
Okay, Wilsey in under center. Harmer in motion. Looking to pass. Gets away from almost gets away through the whole defensive line, almost looking like it, but gets sacked and a chunk of yards lost right there, and it's going to be 2nd and I would say about 15.
Kevin, I've never seen a jailbreak before, like if the gate's open and the inmates are just running, but something tells me it would look something like that.
After the previous play, I think on defense, they just said, let everybody go.
Just go.
Everybody pinch, everybody shoot a gap.
Wilsey in the pocket, throws it to Robertson, again with another big hit. Robertson's just getting some punches right at him.
He keeps getting up.
Oh, yeah.
He needs some more music from the band. Get him going.
Make him start dancing again.
Yeah.
Kyle Garskowitz
Keeps a lick. Gets a licking, keeps on ticking.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, he's, and I think Demir Robertson lost, 4 games this year
for injury.
To that injury. So, he's just right now happy to be out here on the field. Again, a big part of this team on both sides of the ball.
Quite the character.
Beasley out wide, but
Wilsey
throws it to Harmer. Almost has it, but pretty much right off his shoulder pad. And
yeah. And I know it was probably tough earlier catching the ball, but now, with this drive and rain, you're trying to catch a ball that's tough to handle, especially if you get one where you have your hands out as opposed to one where it's going against your body.
It's amazing how these defenders, even the second-string defenders, are able to be in decent position and they're able to cover the zones.
Well, that's where, like you said, you get a good program where kids are ready to step in.
Wilsey in the pocket, pressure, throws it up deep, and pass blocked.
There it is again, Kev.
Yep.
Just in there in that zone to make the play. Knock it down.
That was Stephen McClain, a junior for Haddonfield.
And that's, Tad, we go back to that being a good mark of a good program where, next year they're losing a lot. I don't know that we're going to be looking at the #1 team in South Jersey, but you definitely are not going to have a major drop-off because they usually, like I said, just don't rebuild but reload when you're talking about the Haddonfields, the West Deptfords, Paulsboroughs of the world.
Quarterback Jack Ducci.
With a score 41-7, Haddonfield with 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. And Haddonfield at their own half. And I believe is Jack again.
Marducci, yes.
Under center. Gives it.
Oh, jeez.
Tackle straight away, but
That's Cody Chapman.
Cody Chapman looked like he shot the gap, went in there, made a play.
That's right, Cody. He's thinking of somebody up there. Giving a shout out.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he's calling it a career. Gives Jason a hug. Catches our freshman. Good job. Your last play, might as well make it a good one. There's a couple guys going off. Willsie's going off. Sewell's going off. Shane L's going off.
And hearing all the fans just clap. I think this is pretty much all the seniors almost coming off.
Yeah, kudos to all these seniors just playing hard and playing hard right to the end.
There's Dancing with the Stars. Robertson, he's going.
Maybe I should ask him on Monday if he's going to do that. Go dancing with us.
Wasn't he the leader of our when the guys dancing at pep rally? Wasn't he the head guy?
Pep rally. He's usually the lead guy in the morning announcements too. You never know what Demir's going to come up with, but he's always going to be entertaining.
We like that.
No question about it.
Again, Haddonfield just running down the clock. Jack under center. Pass gives it to Glenn Foley. A lot of Foleys in this lineup.
They're all over. Sterling's number 25 there with the nice tackle.
25, we don't not
No,
have
25. All right.
So probably likely a freshman.
Did a nice job coming off the bench. And
yeah, good opportunity here for these younger guys to get in here, get just a taste of playing on the big field with a lot of people. Well, decent amount of people still here, more than you'd see at a normal freshman game.
correct. And you're on TV, too.
Yep.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom, I'm on TV.
Yeah. John, you're on, too.
45 seconds remaining. Probably the last play of the game.
They may not play. I think you're right.
There you go, Jack under center. Gives it again to 44, and it gets the down. And 44 is again. They're going to call game.
Well, on your part, thanks for helping us out.
Outstanding job, John.
As they move on, that is going to do it for our fall broadcast season. We'll be back with the winter broadcast season. It features girls and boys basketball and wrestling and possibly some swimming. For Kevin Schulz and John Hallwood, I'm Todd Kosneski. We'll talk to you in this winter as the rain really kicks in right here on Channel 19.
Thank you very much for your attendance.
All right, we'll get all the electronics away.